1 second, guys. I gotta put stuff in the fridge. What means death ball? When people 5-man group up and just run down a lane without ganking or anything. I don't know if the patch is 1v9 friendly. I mean, I've 1v9'd a few games, it felt like, but it's very team fight focused. Coaching is $25 US an hour. There's information about it under the stream. I've been doing coaching giveaways every 5 subs. I'm going to get through the coaching sessions I have right now. Missing pineapple. And then I'll do more coaching giveaways. I should charge 400. I want to land. I think 25 is like really cheap. But I just want to start out, and then if I get a lot of demand, I'll charge more. But I feel like if I charged a lot of money without people seeing what a coaching session for me is like too, like for now I'm just like doing it for pretty cheap and then advertising it by putting it on stream. And then if I get more demand for it and people like it, then I'll charge more, essentially. So right now would be the best time to try. Oh fuck, I forgot to record on OBS. Hopefully I can just rip the VOD from Twitch or something, because someone pointed out that it'd be good if I put the stuff on YouTube so people that bought coaching could look at it and other people could look at it too. So you can watch it again. You'll pay me $50 to coach Sammy Boy? I mean, that's up to Sammy Boy, I guess. That sounds hostile, though. How should I look upon those towers instead of side shops? I don't know. You just have to play and get a feel for it. It's hard to explain. Like, I've only played like maybe 30 games on the patch, so I would say that when travels could go to them, they're really OP for playing really fast. But now that you can't travel to them, it's like a lot different. Like, you can use it to set up on people trying to kill your towers, but that's about it. Or for the vision. Yeah, I'm on Windows 10. Okay, that works. Let me see if I can just record this one locally as well, just to make sure. Fuck, I don't have like any of this set up on this computer. I don't know if it's not letting me touch the settings because I'm already streaming, but maybe I'll just rip it off the Twitch VOD then and look at it later. Look what I got from Domino's. They fucked up my pizza, so they made me a new one and then gave me free pizza coupon. So I got 2 pizzas for the price of 1. Look at that, already a satisfied customer from the coaching. No, I didn't order both. This is just a free pizza coupon because they made me wait like 20 extra minutes for another pizza. 1 large 3-topping pizza. And I have to use it by December 18th. I'm gonna get a glass of Coke after this pizza, actually. I'm thirsty now. Black olives, pineapples, and feta cheese. That doesn't sound terrible. Coaching for Dota only? What else could I coach in? I mean, Dota's my area of expertise. I feel like if you're using the words 1v9, you're probably blaming your team too much. And you could also focus on being a better teammate. Minesweeper for $300 an hour? Fuck, I suck at Minesweeper. Alright, I'm gonna call you Equanimity. We'll start this. Okay, let's see. I feel like if you use the words 1v9, you're just sitting there blaming your team at the first thing that goes wrong. One of my friends is 2K MMR, and he plays with all the chats muted, because if he doesn't, he just screams the whole game when he's 2K and bad, and gets banned. Like, he almost got 6 months banned. Like, sometimes you just have to focus on, like, the psychological aspect of Dota. I had to like tell him, like, imagine you're 2K MMR, you're just not very good. That's just life. Obviously, your teammates are gonna miss spells or play like shit. I feel like You can't just sit there calling them gamer words all day and get banned for it, and then your solution shouldn't be to just mute everything and play a single player game either. There should be some like in between where you're getting better at the game and not and like trying to utilize whatever the fuck you have to work with. I'm not mocking 2K MMR. It's just like if you're 2K, you probably have so much room to grow as a player before you could just start pointing fingers at people and calling them gamer words. What's up? Alright, let me turn... You can see on Discord, right? The screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me...
I think the first one is,
So the Void Spirit game?
Yeah, which I know that you don't have a lot of experience with that player.
The one game I played on it, I felt like I learned everything I needed to learn. So, maybe there's some secret technology I don't understand. I wasn't very good with the Q, but...
Yeah, it definitely took me a lot of games to, like, figure out the Q, because there's a lot of delay on it. So, like, I would try and, like, put it behind them, point towards me, but then they would just always walk past it. So I, like, always try and point it away from me now.
I don't know about the buckler build. I guess it's never that bad. I don't know what other people do on Void Spirit, but yeah.
Buckler item's just like broken, and especially if this invoker's trying to like hit me with Forge Spirits and reduce my armor, it'll like counteract it a little bit.
Hold on, they're saying you're quiet. Let me turn you up a bit. The one thing about buckler mid is that you can't have the branches, so your tangos aren't as good. And you can't, like, use your tangos in the middle of the lane, so you have to, like, walk back and use them. It makes it really awkward. And the 2 armor, 3 attributes isn't, like, worth the gold, really. Like, it's a lot of gold. You can keep it on the creep wave, maybe, and you could make, like, a case for that. But in the side lane, it's, like, on 2 heroes. So, like, it's, like, way more useful than it is mid.
Okay, so maybe just like buy the Ring of Protection.
If other people start doing this, I might change my mind about it, but I feel like this just isn't worth the gold mid. So, I think I talked a bit about Exort Invoker in the last replay. I don't know if you were watching it, the one where he was Storm. But
I wasn't there. It's like the first like 10 minutes or so of it.
Yeah, I could just go over. I was gonna go over everything again anyway, but. If you have any questions about this lane, you can let me know. For the most part, when he has Forge Spirit, I don't know, maybe you can kill it with your spells. Probably not, though. When he has Forge Spirit in level 3, you're going to be pretty fucking sad, I feel like. So...
I imagine that I just, like, try and walk up and hit the range creep a couple times in Resonant Pulse, and then just, like, not care that he's hitting me, and just, like, try and blow up the wave with my spells.
Okay, so when he does this, when he brings the creeps back, you want to try and keep these off your range creep. You want to keep your range creep alive. He doesn't have anything to, like, really hurt you level 1. Invoker is really shit level 1, even Exort. If you can kill this range creep and keep yours alive, it'll, like, double wave him under the tower more often than not, as long as you're not pushing too hard after that. Like, you can push it too fast, which is bad. But if he has no range creep, you could even just start trading with him without taking, like, virtually that much damage, because the melee creeps have to chase you around.
So what do I do? Just, like, aggro him and, like, walk into the river with his creeps and, like, pull him back towards my melee creeps?
So, like, right now he's taking... This is, like, pretty good, I think. Well, he pulled him into the tower, which sucks for you. Let me look over this.
I probably could have got both of those melee creeps.
Try and pull these creeps, like, back over here onto the side of the lane. And then, whenever he, like, starts aggroing the creeps like that, you want to keep them close. Oh, sorry. Fuck. That makes things weird. Try and pull them...
Maybe I can pull up the stream and see your cursor?
That'd probably be too laggy. Let me see if there's a setting I can use for this. Should be screen share. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'd waste too much time trying to fix it. So, can you see when I like drag boxes, like the green boxes? I'm doing it now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do boxes then. So the first wave is like really important in every matchup. You want to try and pull these creeps like down here, but away from your range creep. And then, so what he does is he's like pulling these creeps back to try and get them under the tower so that he doesn't get fucked. You could honestly just pull yours onto the range creep and then tank his Sunstrike when he tries to kill it, and then you could easily kill his range creep with your E as well. It's kind of difficult for you to do more than that when it's like this. Because if you just let him click you like this, because these melee creeps are so far from your range creep, you're not going to trade effectively with them. If you try to click them, this creep will hit you like it is, and you'll take a lot of damage. You kind of just want to trade the range creeps level 1 when it's like this. So you want to drag the melee creeps onto your range creep, and then burn down this. Because like this would be perfect if these creeps stayed alive for like 10 more seconds and you didn't pull them into the tower, but you're not going to get like a big wave and really hurt them that much when it's like this. And the only way to punish somebody who's like dragging the creeps all the way into the tower is to make them lose the range creep. So you had to keep these melee creeps on his side alive longer and have them pressure the range creep by dragging them back.
Yeah, I could have aggroed them back right here. Well, I guess they were in deny range anyway, so it was too late.
Because you have the double wave, so it's like this is still fine, but you could have done a little bit more. You can't waste that because now you're not going to get the range creep. Let me look over this again.
I probably could have got the range creep with Q. If you hover my abilities, I probably skilled it late.
So you're being really scared. You should just like try to burn down these creeps and fuck with him when he's trying to get last hits. Like the tower's not going to hit you unless you click on him. And if he tries to click on you, these 3 creeps will start hitting him, and you won't really lose that much health. Like you have a buckler and 5 armor, or like 5 armor from the buckler, and you have the passive stout shield.
Yeah.
When I'm the invoker in this case, is sometimes I'll just start clicking them, because if I don't, they're just gonna ruin the creeps under the tower. It gets really hard to last under the tower when you don't have any spells in these kind of situations. Like he's not gonna sunstrike the creeps. You can make it really hard for him to get any of these CS, and then when the last one's about to die, you can pull back to these range creeps or something. But you're being way too scared. Like this one should get ruined for him. This one you can't do anything about. And then those 2 creeps you could have just been hitting the whole time or something, so that this doesn't happen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could have got all 3 of those with my Q, like I said.
He only has 3 creeps, but I feel like he should have 1 or like 0 at this start. So here a lot of players do this, and it's like not much you can really do about it except for doing what he's doing. You should pull the creeps onto your range creep and then try to, like, it's really annoying for Invoker to get the range creeps. He has no instant nuke. You have an instant nuke. So if he pulls them back when he hits you, like if you just walk up, he'll probably just hit you anyway and pull them back, and they go on the range creep, and then you bring yours onto the range creep. You should be able to really fuck with him trying to get this, and then you should get his for free with your 3rd skill, because it's instant.
Right.
Whereas, like, if he does this, then now your range creep's in the middle of nowhere, so if you walk up to these creeps, he's going to take 0 damage hitting you. And you're just going to take free harass, and the range creep's dying, so you have, like, reason to go over there. And the wave's just really bad for you when it's like this. And what you can do is just bring these creeps to your range creep.
Okay.
Yeah. Fuck. I wish there was a way for me to drag on the map or whatever, but... So, like, this is the problem, right? Now, because you didn't drag the melee creeps, this range creep's alive, and he's gonna get all these under the tower. And when they're... Before, when you had his creeps, like, tanking it in front, he couldn't just bring them all the way back here. Because if he does that, then you can't contest them at all. Like, when they're right in front of the tower, it's really easy for you to, like, ruin it when he's about to last hit if he sets it up, or deny, or, like, do anything. But when it's back here, if you try to do that, especially since you're melee, the creeps are going to die and he's going to cold snap you. And you're going to be so far away. Like, he just gets these for free if he doesn't mess up. The other option you have is just going back and blocking really early. So, like, you did it here, right? And now he's level 3. It's actually a lot harder for you to do what you could have been doing the first, like, 3 or 4 waves, because if you're, like, playing, like, a piece of shit for this range creep and making his life hard, he couldn't do anything about it, but now he can cold snap and hit you with a level 2 Forge Spirit, and you're going to take a lot of damage. And you should get the second spell for sure against Invoker, and probably a lot of other matchups, like Leshrac, Lina, because they're just going to cast Cold Snap on you when you try to deny this or go for the range creep, and you could just dissimulate, and then it, like, ruins his whole Cold Snap. And that'd be really good for you.
I'm definitely going to get it at level 4.
And then you didn't get that range creep, which you should have been able to get with your 3rd skill anyway. It's good that you're going for the rune now, though. You're not getting the rune, I guess. I mean, it's just an invis, but you should probably burn it.
Because it's an invis, and I knew that I was going to get a bottle eventually, I guess. I don't know, it doesn't really do anything for me, and it doesn't do anything for him if he gets it.
Another super simple thing you can do in the lanes like this is you pull the melee creeps onto the range creep in the tower, and then he'll try to pull it onto his range creep, but you can easily just walk up and E it, and then he has to go super far up to contest the range creep under your tower. And it makes life really hard for him. And then if this range creep dies and his range creep dies, you can pull these melee creeps all the way back between the towers and get them for free. And you won't have to deal with his, like, 80 damage right clicks and Forge Spirit. So it kind of happens here, but, like, you nuke them again, so this range creep's just not going to get denied.
Yeah.
You really want to be able to get this range creep denied, especially under your own tower.
Yeah, I've noticed my laning mechanics are definitely where I've been struggling.
I mean, this is, like, the more complicated, less obvious stuff, I guess, that if you don't really know what you're looking for, then even if you see other people do it, you might get confused, but the creep aggro and creep equilibrium stuff is really important. Like, you should walk up and E that, too. You shouldn't give that away for free. Void Spirit feels like a hero that, like, you can't really contest him on CS this patch, just because he can get every range creep and his animation and damage is really good.
Yeah.
So this is fine. Like, once you're level 4, you can just start pushing it like this. But, like, look how much damage you take, right? So it's, like, still not great. Let me go into player perspective now and start speeding it up a bit, because I think at this point in the lane, you don't really have much control over the last hits and denying, aside from using your 3rd skill. Going for the rune is good. Like, he should just destroy you on CS and on Harass now that he's level 5. There's not much you can do about it. Maybe you can kill him with level 6 because your hero's not fair.
I I could definitely kill that hero at level 6. At least this patch, because I'm pretty sure this was before both of the nerfs.
I would not waste that W unless you got cold snaps too. Did you buy a bottle this game? There it is. You should try to get it earlier, which is another reason I don't like the buckler. The runes are so close, so you want to play for them.
Yeah, and I could have got both of them.
Yeah. Saves you a lot of gold.
Yeah, I fucked up all of those. Thought that you was gonna clean them up.
Yeah. But like, just to be clear, you understand what I mean by like when you pull the creeps back onto the range creep and then his range creep. Like, I said it a few times, but like, it wouldn't do much now. But if you like, he's gonna attack you and he's gonna drag the creeps no matter what, and then you can just drag them back onto your range creep while you run away. And that's like the easiest way to play against Invoker.
Click E for my range creep, and he has to like right click it.
Because that's like the most important part about this lane, and probably like a lot of other lane matchups as this hero, because you just have such free range creep killing as a melee hero. There are some matchups that might be a little different. Like heroes like Lina don't give a shit about when you do that. Like, it might still be good for you to get the range creep that way, but they're just going to press Q on the range creep. So, or W. Let's see. I don't know if it shows when you click on his items and stuff too, but maybe you should check his items a bit more.
Yeah, probably haven't.
This is probably not the dive. You definitely lost that trade. This hero feels a lot similar to like an Ember Spirit type of hero, more so than a Storm, where you can be super active early. But
yeah, I think that's why I've liked playing him, because I like really try and like get my levels and then go into the side lanes, because I feel like the outposts are so important.
Yeah. Take like what I have to offer too much about this hero with a grain of salt, because I'm like obviously not a expert Void Spirit, but when you use all your mana on Invoker like that and you don't get a kill, I mean sure you can go Shrine, but the Shrines are really to help you like farm faster and sustain in the lane, not so much like he didn't have to use anything and you use a Shrine. And you want to have your spells up for like stuff like this, where your tower's dying. I mean, they left the lane, so you can't do anything, but maybe you could get someone to TP, or I don't know, I'd have to go back and watch it. But you really want to keep your spells and mana up for when ganks happen, or you want to use them specifically to get more money, so that later on you'll be more effective in the fights. It's like right now, if I was Ember Spirit, probably couldn't go to bottom right now. Not gonna dive a Slark and Avenge unless I had like a Siege Wagon and like a way of getting the tower. I'd probably just put a Remnant in this camp, Flame Guard out the wave. You know, he has Cyclone, so it might be hard to do that. But I would just be power farming. And I think you could do it on this hero with like an ulti and the third skill on the creeps. Or, I don't know. I know when I had levels, I was one-shotting all the creep camps with just an ulti and E. But I don't know what you do at level 7.
Yeah, like, with level 1 ulti, it's like such a huge cooldown, it's like 25 seconds.
Yeah.
And then you generally need both, I think, to kill people. So I've been struggling on, like, where I should be farming. Like,
you
I've
should
been
just
ganking a lot.
Take a look at, like, what's going on in this game. I don't think... Like, maybe you could call your supports to gank mid, but I really don't think any kills on the map are going to happen unless they happen bottom, and no one on your team is laning bottom. So you should just use all your resources to kill creeps faster. And then, and then save, like, you need 50 seconds I think, unless... Yeah, you need 50 seconds to get all these back. So maybe at, like, 9 minutes, you stop using your ulti to farm. And then you just get ready for the bounty runes in the outpost. Something like that. And then you make sure you're full mana, too. But you should just use all your resources to farm. Maybe you can save one of your ultis to get away or something. And you could probably bring clarities to farm faster, too. But this hero is really, really effective with levels, so... Like, this camp, if this was a Satyr camp, you would just one-shot it. I'm sure you can kill this Centaur camp pretty easily, too. Like, these guys are... They feel like such hard kills. I don't know if your hero's just broken. Maybe you'll get them anyway. We'll see. But right now, you're spending a lot of time not progressing your hero. And that could actually be a problem. Your courier died, too. Like, this is a lot of pointless walking around. I don't know if... Like, in the last coaching session I just did, I feel like a lot of Divine players, because he was Divine as well, they have this problem on a lot of these heroes, where they feel bad for farming on, like, pace-making heroes, but you want to set the pace at, like, 12 to 15 minutes usually anyway. Like, right now it's not that important. You can only punish mistakes because you're not strong enough to solo kill people just yet unless they're low, and your supports have no levels anyway. Like, when your supports are 6 past 10 minutes with the books, you can definitely, like, force a lot more kills, but you should literally be power farming until 10 minutes almost every game. So, like, around now, you can maybe have, like, 600 more net worth and an extra level if you were farming the whole time better. And then when you go fight at, like, 10 minutes, you'll be way stronger.
I felt like that Veno's just, like, a completely free kill bottom if, like, anyone ever...
He just has Veno wards everywhere. It's hard to kill him without a smoke. So right now, you could TP top, maybe, and fight for this outpost. You're running bottom for the free Veno kill, which is fine, too. These are good kills, too. But you should focus on this outpost, too, and the bounty runes. Invoker's never going to leave his lane. When you're playing against heroes like Invoker or Medusa, those heroes never leave their lane. And, like, some of the really good Invokers might TP to counter gank, but I don't know. I feel like I never see that in my games either. They just try to Sunstrike and AFK. So when you go to these side lanes as the mid, as long as your tower is not threatened by dying, you're just going to make the game 5v4, and it makes their teammates really mad at each other too. Because they'd be like, fucking useless AFK Invoker, or AFK Medusa, do I not pick fucking Ember Spirit? You know, people just start complaining if you just start shitting on the whole game.
Yeah,
but these skills are really good.
I like this hero a lot because, like, you fight for the shrines, and then, like you said, it even has, like, that mental factor of, like, their side lanes are like, man, my mid's not helping me.
Yeah. And then, yeah, like, you should just run right for this. This is so much more important than the creep wave. I hope you do, yeah. And the bounty runs as well. So yeah, this was, like, really good. It's, like, the only thing that was, like, really bad with your laning phase was, like, the first few waves you didn't, like, control the equilibrium well, so you didn't, like, punish the Invoker enough. And then from, like, 5 to 8.5 minutes, you could have been more efficient with farming.
Okay.
And the shrine usage, too. And then, I mean, it worked out. You killed everybody anyway, so it's not, like, a big deal. It could just make a big deal in other games. At this point in the game, you can just let Troll defend mid and farm the neutrals, and you can play a side lane now, for the most part. You could probably kill these guys over and over again bottom with your team. You just have to kind of coordinate with them a bit. Like, you're level 11 now.
Like, when I get bots, or, like, even when I'm close to bots on this hero, like, I never want to, like, be in the mid lane again, and it just feels, like, terrible having to defend that tower.
The supports should just be in one of the side lanes, and the LC should be in one of the side lanes, and you can just go to them, or they can go to you. But these guys are easy kills with a smoke. If you guys smoked now, I don't know, maybe that's a bit advanced for Divine.
I think that's our issue this game, is we never use smoke.
Oh, well, there's a smoke. Oh, fuck, I'm not using the camera. But, like, this kill, right? Like, who fucking cares about a level 4 Venge? You're probably not going to get the tower. If you got Invoker, that's really good. But this smoke should have been to bottom, I feel like. And just, these two heroes are really farmed.
And the Venom's like a free kill the whole entire game.
The Venom and the Underlord are like their two most farmed heroes outside of Invoker, and they'd be much better. Like I said, against these Invoker Dusa type heroes, if you can get the free kill on them, like if they're playing super far up, sure, but a lot of the times when you try to kill them mid, their whole team just comes, and then the game's 5v5 for no reason, when it could be 4v5 in a side lane.
Right.
It's just like the one thing you gotta keep in mind.
I mean, this whole game, like, I just wanted to go kill the Venom, but, like,
Yeah.
I just should have bought the smoke myself, because, like you said, he has those wards, so then I just walk into my jungle and then walk into a ward and not be able to move.
They're once this tower dies, there's probably gonna be obs wards all over your fucking jungle anyway, like there is. But even without the obs wards, he can just place Venom wards in places, and it just ruins any type of ganks without smoke. And then the other nice thing is if your team plays up top, you can easily teleport to this outpost and kill people too. But this is another point in the game. Where's your hero right now? Where you can probably just farm for a bit and wait for the next round of objectives, like the wagon, the bounty runes, the outposts. And just, like, I would consider this Venomancer, like, farming. Like, if you just smoked at him with the support and killed him, I would consider that, like, farming. I wouldn't be, like... He's so far up that if you kill him, you're not going to get anything out of it. So it's basically just farming. But you just want to farm. So...
I mean, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, he's literally just been in this spot and farming our camps the entire game, and we just never punished it.
You could probably even solo smoke onto him. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I should have bought the smoke myself at some point.
Like, I don't know, Legion rushed a blink and he's just like teleporting into Venom wards. He's like, the Venom's making a lot of space, even though he's playing like dog shit, in my opinion. Like, what he's doing is working, but it's not good.
My exact thoughts is like, we should have just killed this guy a million times.
If anything, the Underlord should play down there because he can ult out, and then the Venom can hold top while they're Slark jungles or something in their Invoker jungles, if they really wanted to farm out the map a lot. Yeah, you shouldn't be hanging out mid anymore. Your hero has a lot of escapes, so you could even just, like, hit this tower a bunch or something. I don't think you can push the bottom lane out to their tower, but this lane's been pretty empty, so you might as well just occupy it and hit the tower, and then maybe some shit will happen somewhere else that you can bots to. But you don't have to be there first. You can just pressure somewhere else for now.
Yeah, I think I'm, like, helping this Legion kill the creep game, because I'm like, you have Blink and Duel, and we can kill anyone on the map. Nobody, like, is hitting jungle creeps.
Yeah. So, like, this Snapfire hero does 1 billion damage, I think. You see Uberlord go up here, I would just teleport to this outpost to kill the Uberlord and take the tower.
I think we might get Slark.
Oh, well, that works. But even, like, your cooldowns are so low, just go top still anyway, right?
Yeah.
And maybe you won't kill him, he has a hood, but you'll, like, make them TP, or he'll have to go heal or use a shrine somewhere. It just speeds up the game. And you could let the Legion farm mid right now with no duel too. But this tower should be under a lot more pressure right now. There's a pause. I'll put Fog on the Radiant now. So yeah, I think for the next while, I mean, there's going to be the outposts now. It's too hard to gank Venom without smoke. Maybe he'll die anyway. But
No, I'm sure
it's just going to be...
bought him a million times and don't kill him.
It's just going to be this story over and over again, because we can't... Like, I told you what to do, but you're probably not going to ever do it this game. Seems like...
I'm literally just gonna walk at the bottom, like, can we please kill this guy? And then we just never kill him.
Yeah, and then when the game's like this, Invoker's AFK, but he's so high on the net worth now, because not enough stuff's happening on the map. Here we go.
Yeah.
This could have happened like 3 minutes ago, I feel like...
Yeah.
You really gotta punish people that pick these 4v5 AFK heroes like Invoker by just doing a lot of shit in the side lanes.
Like you said, the troll like abandoned his lane, so I just should have emphasized playing the top lane.
Yeah.
Because like, the way I've been playing this hero is like I just go mid for levels and then just play the side lanes and like you said, like play 5v4. But then I'm just like running to the lane that nobody's in the whole time.
You have travels and TP too, like you don't even have to run to lanes most of the time. It's way too awkward when you're playing mid at this point in time too.
Yeah, I definitely need somebody else to just like defend this tower for me.
Usually, I mean, it's awkward now that the ancient camp's moved on Radiant, but usually the carry just takes this part of the map until like 20 minutes. And
yeah,
it's nice when the carry's sitting mid, because if a fight goes on really long in one of the side lanes, he can usually show up by either running or TPing. And then middle's like the safest part of the map usually. So if like they dive mid, people can TP. Or if they like dive the jungle, there's like there's like towers everywhere, the shrines everywhere, people can help him. Just makes the game a lot easier for him when he's not having to like be right in front of this tier 2 tower the whole game. Bottom.
Yeah, carries don't ever go mid in my games. But
I don't know, he might just naturally do it if you're out of the lane. A lot of people like there's some people who are super toxic or whatever, and they just scream and shout gamer words, but a lot of people have this, like, anxiety when they play solo queue pubs, where they don't want to, like, make people mad and have them break their items. So if they see someone else's mid, they're not gonna, like, be like, I'm the carry, I'm going mid right now. Or, like, I want to farm. They'll just, like, ruin their own game to try and not step on other people's toes. And I find that happens, like, a lot in my games.
Hey, but, like, if you notice right now, like, I'm just TP top, and Underlord's hitting the tower, and he's walking back bottom.
Yeah, I mean, you could even just say, like, hey, troll def mid for me, I'm leaving the lane or something, too, but...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, understanding, like, how he should be playing the game, like, I can recommend it to him, and then maybe he'll listen.
Sometimes they won't listen, but it still shouldn't matter too much. Like, this game's pretty even though Invoker has just gotten uncontested farm in the jungle. He rushed Aghanims for some reason. I don't even know if he understands how it works anymore.
People have still been doing that. I forget who I was watching. I think Abed like went Midas Ags.
I mean, it can be good. It just doesn't have any setup for the Cataclysm this game, so I don't see why he would do it.
I don't know if they just value the 3 points that much or what.
I usually, like, I played 1 or 2 Exort Invoker games this patch. I just go, like, Treads, Drum, BKB, Ags if I'm going Ags, or I'll go BKB then Hex if I don't want to go Ags. Just depends what heroes. It's like, this is what I mean, right? The Invoker's just nowhere to be found still in any of these team fights. It's gonna be like that the whole game.
Yeah, I was like...
Troll's feeding because he doesn't know where to farm, but it's
I
life.
guess part of the reason I kept like running bottom is because like that's where my troll was, and like I was just like trying to give him some sort of a game, but I don't think it's really working.
Even the Veno now, like he's just all chatting all game. He's malding. Now that you're level 16, if he shows bottom alone, you're just gonna one-shot him. So even if you like didn't smoke gank him earlier, if you just farmed and played the top side of the map and stuff like that, you could just kill him for free later anyway.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to punish that type of stuff.
I definitely should have paid attention to the timer there and been near an outpost.
Yeah, I mean you have travels up, but they got both of them.
We just killed Veno bottom and then didn't get the outpost.
Oh, you saw Veno show bottom on the outpost. Probably should have killed him instead. But this might be okay. God, you use so much fucking damage.
lost this game. Definitely did not feel like we should have lost.
I feel like when you play heroes like Void Spirit or even Ember that don't kill towers, in 15 minutes from now, if the game's like not completely won, it's gonna get to the point where you don't really have control over whether the game ends unless you like 5-man wipe them and take 0 casualties. Like Troll can get picked off at 35 minutes and the game can get ruined. He might walk up their high ground with an Aegis and feed twice and the game can get ruined. The later the game goes, the easier it can get ruined by like one bad mistake from someone else.
I'm just sitting here trying to win. It does so much damage.
I mean, you have Yules and the Dissimulate. You probably shouldn't take that much damage from it. You can just use that stuff.
Yeah, definitely like.
I would just use the Shrine too. I mean, you're almost level 20 at 22 minutes. You're taking over this game. You could just get Dagon next or something. This is kind of crazy.
Not sure what I go next. Yeah, I thought the Legion was still there.
Yeah.
I thought Legion was going to Dolan.
BKB might not be bad either. They have Root Lord and Invoker, but it's stuff like this that can make the game hard, where like I'm gonna pause now before something happens, but 2 people just died like one by one. You just have to be patient, wait for them to respawn, and hope no one else feeds. But I feel like you might go in here and something bad could happen. I just have a bad feeling about this.
Possibility.
Okay, well, he missed the pounce.
I actually live here, I remember. And then
Yeah, but you got your troll killed.
Yeah.
It's like these type of situations where the game will drag out, and then it'll get to the point where you really won't 1v5 them strong enough anymore. And it'll be up to like your carry to actually kill buildings, and he's really underfarmed and useless. You really have to try and get like you're at 10k net worth, level 19 at 23 minutes. You're level 19 at like 21 minutes, I think. You just need to scale more. So if you hit like 20k net worth or 18k net worth at like 30 minutes in a game like this, I feel like the game's not even a problem. Even if I'm Ember, and, like I'll just kill them and then kill their buildings. I don't care. But when you're just even with them and the game's going on and on, you kind of fall off a bit if you're not scaling.
Right. Yeah, I definitely feel that. I play Ember a ton, and I feel that all the time.
I go into like
at some point, I just don't kill them, like kill their whole team, and then it feels impossible to win.
Like you're just fighting a lot, which is fine if it's going well, but this could also be how it goes bad. There's times where I'm playing like Ember Spirit and shit, where I just have like, 5 or 10 minutes of only farming while the other team's not farming, or like just pushing lanes and like it still has to be in your arsenal in some games to scale.
It just feels really slow to hit jungle creeps on this hero.
No, it doesn't. At this point, you just press your ult and your second spell or your third spell, and they just die.
Yeah, I guess you can spam your ult on them,
Yeah. The one game I played Void Spirit, I was like, wow, this hero is kind of farming slow. And then I just started casting my abilities on neutrals because they cost like 0 mana. You have travels. And I was like, wow, actually, I could be like level 25 at like 25 minutes. This hero farms so fast.
Yeah, I've started using my ult more on the creep waves because you can R and E.
It's a 2-for-1. Like, it's an 8-second cooldown. It'll transport you up a cliff, and it'll one-shot a creep camp, and then you just go to the next creep camp. So, like, it's like anti-mage, kind of, where you're just getting to creep camps faster, and you're one-shotting them. So, yeah, the game's kind of gone to the point where I feel like you're just not strong enough with your start.
Yeah, so the game's probably, like, over now.
I wouldn't say it's over, but
like, out of my control.
Yeah, it's further out of your control. I think, like, sometimes the Dota Plus shit's a meme, but if you look at, like, 5 minutes ago, or whatever, you guys had like the green line advantage, and I was like, yeah, this game's pretty good because I was after a bunch of kills and stuff. And then without
we
even
fed up the mid tower and lost the mid tower.
Once all this starts happening, like it goes down so fast. You just fall off so fast on these Euros. If you die like a few times at 20 minutes, because you were really far ahead on XP, maybe not so much gold, and you give a lot of XP when you die. Like they didn't tone down comeback XP as much as they toned down comeback gold, and talents are really important. So dying on these snowball heroes isn't like that important when you feed a big streak of gold. It's more so the XP.
Yeah, there's also just those couple minutes that I was like running between bottom and mid.
Yeah,
trying to
there's
find
a lot of
something.
inefficient time.
Yeah, I'm fine going to the next replay now.
Okay.
Like, I think.
I mean,
like the game should like basically be over by now, right?
I mean, all these outer towers could be dead, and you could be like 20-0 instead of 8-1. There's like a bunch of things that could have gone differently, or you could have like 250 CS by now, if you were starting to like farm instead of go for kills. Like two different things could have happened, and you could have like Dagon 5 by now or something, or I don't know, maybe people get E-Blade. I don't know what people. I saw someone go Dagon 5. It looked pretty good. You even get a sheep for the Slark. We can go to the next one. Okay, let me look. What hero are you this game? Bloodseeker. Okay, you're safe lane.
This is a game that I thought we won in 15 minutes, and then
some bad stuff happened.
Hours, and I got recalled by a blade mill axe and died a billion times.
Okay. So I'm like a main mid player, so there might be like a couple things I don't pick up in the lane, but after the lane I understand Dota well enough to like basically know what everyone should be doing. So maybe I can help you with this lane, maybe I can't. But I'll probably just fast forward a lot of it.
That's fine.
I mean, I play safe lane as like my second role usually, so.
I don't think the issue in this game had anything to do with lanes.
Did carries start Buckler this patch? Often?
So like the first game that Secret played on this patch in their qualifiers, they started a Buckler in all 3 lanes, and they like stopped going it as much later into the qualifiers, but I just think that item was like really broken.
Yeah, usually the support buys it in the off lane, I think, or like the core will buy it and the support will buy a headdress or some weird shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Like you said, I don't know.
I haven't played any side lane this patch, so.
But I know, like I said, in that first Secret game, all 3 of their cores bought it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just really like Cooling Blade. Even the Void Spirit game, like you at least went Buckler Cooling Blade, I think.
Right, because I got shared the Tangos.
I don't think Bloodseekers start Q. I think they just start W, and they get the range creeps with it. I feel like, at least last patch when I was at Dream League, I think the only one really playing Bloodseeker was Nico Baby, and he doesn't even get Q in the lane, but they would try lane. So I think people usually go like 0-2-1 and then get the Q at level 4 when they run out of regen, or they go 0-2-2 and then get it at 5. But you should really be prioritizing W. It's so much damage, like at least 2 points in it early, and then you can max Thirst and then get 1 in Blood Range and max Blood Right. But it does pure damage, so it's like it's more than the 125. That's like a 160 or 155 damage nuke level 1. If you were to like compare it to a magic damage ability.
Right.
And you have, I think he went stun level 1, so you have a setup for it too. Were you queued with this guy, or is he just a random? I'm guessing just a random.
Yeah, just a random.
Well,
I think I was queued with the shaman, maybe.
Okay. In case you're queued with someone in a lane like this, like Ogre Bloodseeker is really popular, I think, and there's a couple others. basically, when the range creep's dying, so let me go back to what happened on this first wave, too. So, when they do this, right, and the range creep's dying, you should just tell this guy to stun when you blood right, and then you'll get the range creep and do harass damage to them. And your wave will push, and it'll make your lane a lot simpler, and you'll take less damage. He got the range creep, which is nice, but it should have been denied, honestly. Especially in the safe lane. I don't know how often the pull gets warded, but whenever it's pushing, you feel good in the safe lane, because you can go pull. And then, even if this guy gets, like, interrupted in his pull, or this guy's dealing with him, I feel like Bloodseeker probably 1v1s any hero just fine. Axe didn't go spin anyway, and when the wave pushing, you'll have an XP advantage. You might have to, I don't know, I wouldn't take what I say with a grain of salt for this one, but I feel like when the wave's like this, right in front of your tower, it's actually not good for you. Because they can pull this side camp and make your lane really, really hard. So, like, if you could get it up to where the Nyx is, and then you're closer to that side camp, and you can at least see them pulling it, or you can, like, push, like, ideally you just have it pushing, I think. It might be complicated to have it pushing against Axe when he has, like, level 2 spin, but at least early on. It's, like, kind of the same as mid, where just the early waves are generally better to have pushing in your favor, because people are too weak to really fight you for them when you have such a big wave. And if it's pushing, you're not gonna just like die to a level 1 hero just because the lane's too far up. Yeah, I think you could have gone like Bloodright's 70 mana. You could have got like 3 or 4 of them off by now in the lane, and they'd be almost out of regen, at least on Nyx. It just changes the lane so much.
Yeah, I haven't played Bloodseeker recently, but when you say that, I have remembered people doing that.
Alright, we'll fast forward a bit here. I think at this point, you can't really control much of the lane, so the lane's probably just not gonna go to how it should be anyway. I don't even know how good that pull is. I mean, Axe is level 2, so it's probably fine, but he's probably just gonna farm that. And then it'd be another thing, like, again, if you had, like, 0, 2, 1, then you could W onto the creeps, too, and he can't kill them.
Yeah.
That might have been a kill. Yeah, I'll stop talking about the silence. You get it already. I have a bad habit of, like, repeating myself for, like, coaching and stuff like that. So if I'm, like, repeating something too much, just let me know.
I haven't played Bloodseeker since people started leveling W, because it used to be always Q level 1, right?
W was 120 mana before or something, I think. So it was, like,
yeah,
not worth it.
I kind of stopped playing this hero since the damage to attack speed change. But they've had Slurk, so I was like, maybe I should play this hero.
Yeah. You're getting a good lane now. You're way ahead of the Axe still, but I could definitely see you like having like a bunch of kills by now and really taking over the game. It's good to force his TP out like that. Yeah, it's good. I was about to say you should pull this into the camp, farm both.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. He like kept trying to cut, but he was just cutting waves, and then I was farming a wave and a jungle camp.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't even know why he like stopped showing up.
Yeah.
I probably missed. Did I miss?
I know I'll have some good things to mention about this hero once the team fights start, because I know what every Bloodseeker that doesn't play Bloodseeker a lot does. Team fights. It's a very specific way of playing team fights on this hero.
See, like at this point, the game just feels like, at least like this patch before C when the outposts got nerfed. I don't know how much of an effect that's gonna have. But it just felt like if you have like these outposts like 10 and 15 minutes, like it's just so hard to win the game.
Yeah.
Like for the other team.
Fuck, you're so fast.
Yeah. This is definitely greedy going for that bounty, and Pango definitely should have killed me.
Yeah, these types of games are really good for Bloodseeker. So, like, the one thing about the side lanes this patch is that people like to fight over the outposts, and even in pub games, people are fighting a lot more. I mean, you're really strong, so it's weird. Maybe you should go farm top where Pudge is, where there's, like, less action. But you don't really want to be the first one into these fights. Like, this is, like, ridiculous. You probably are going to die here, actually. But this is... basically what I was saying is, like... conceptually, Bloodseeker feels much better when everyone's low and then you run in. And the way you can set that up is just not going in first, or not, like, frontlining, or, like, this isn't so late in the game yet, but you're basically frontlining by staying in this lane, because this is the tower and the outpost they want to really fight for right now, unless they go for mid. It's really hard for them to just, like, go kill this Pudge and then have to go all the way here for a tower. So if you're farming, like, this side of the map, then you're not going to be the first one in, and if you are, then it's not a big deal. You should just try and farm somewhere safer now, like, even though you're really far ahead. Because you want to really build your advantage.
Probably don't do that. I probably just keep going bottom.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that my friend said that he wanted to kill his axe here.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is a good play. I mean, I would do this anyway, but then...
well, then I'm probably just...
pushing this tower with the wagon's good. When Axe respawns, if they look like they want to defend, I would just run away and start farming the jungle. But this is like an exception where if someone's alone and you're gonna get a kill, this is like basically farming. This is just the fastest way you can farm. Like, being top, the map doesn't really fucking matter. If your team's setting up somewhere and it's a super free kill, just go get your free kill. But like now, Axe is respawning. They should have all their ultis. Nyx is on top of you. I feel like you shouldn't be this far up. You should let Pudge and Venge hit it or something. I guess Venge can swap you. It's probably fine. You can finish this tower and then go somewhere else.
I think Pudge has Link, maybe?
Yeah. And then you should just run away. Oh, maybe you can... no. I mean, I don't know what the fuck Lena's doing. Somehow has boots of travel and TP scroll and can't get to this fight. Then Rasta, I guess, was just farming. Those guys should probably all die.
That's like exactly what happened this game. It's like... it was like, wait, where was our team at? And then it was me getting caught by the axe way too many times, I think.
So yeah, I mean, being bottom isn't a big deal right now. It's a big deal for the short while earlier where your team was less grouped up.
Like, holy crap, we're 8,000, 9,000 net worth up in 14 minutes and we lose.
I would just go Mjolnir first too and just farm.
Why Mjolnir? Just because it helps you farm faster?
Yeah. I mean, you get attack speed from Thirst, but you're not going to have it right away, and you can throw the buff onto Pudge or something. It just does a lot of damage. I'd go like Mjolnir, BKB, Abyssal Blade or something. What did I think you are played Bloodseeker against me yesterday. Let me check what his item build was.
Went Mjolnir a lot, but I just like didn't really understand why that item.
So he went Phase Drum. So this game, he skipped Mjolnir until later, and I guarantee you it's because his early game wasn't this good. Mjolnir just, like, you want to aim for a BKB around 20 to 25 minutes, and you have space to get a Mjolnir now, so you just should get it. I don't think you need a Basher. If you can spend your advantage early on killing creeps faster, you're going to have an even bigger advantage for when people are high enough level that when they're dead, you'll actually kill buildings and shit. Like, if you had a BKB now, sure, you might win teamfights, but it's not really gonna... Like, they're just gonna respawn. And then your BKB will get lower faster. So this is another thing where you're just playing too aggressive. You need to go hit creeps and shit. What Lena's doing is stupid, but... you know, maybe she'll get involved at some point. At least she's, like, farming. I would not get S and Y. I mean, you could go S and Y Satanic against Axe, but you don't need to at all.
I think that was my plan, was to be able to like out-life steal the call. And just
you shouldn't get called at all. And then if you do, there should just be a swap or something.
So like, how do we start fights if like I'm not the one frontline? Because like obviously Pudge should be in the front, but
you
he isn't, and he like won't be the entire game.
Ideally, Lena will get a pick off somewhere because she built all mobility, or your supports will go in first, or you'll rupture a core showing and then Pudge will hook them, or Pudge will like go on them, or you'll swap them after the rupture, and then you put your silence on the ground and you wait for the fight to start and then you go in with your BKB. Or, like, if they're pushing a tower, you can just spam your silence from super far back and rupture somebody, like I said. You kind of want to just play like a spellcaster until the fight really starts. Just play super far back.
I guess I just, like, didn't understand how to, like, push our advantage when, like, Lena and Pudge weren't, like, helping us, like, take the towers.
Q on yourself like this is also really dangerous when you're full HP already. Like, just making yourself take... I mean, it's only 10% right now, so maybe it's not that bad, but it's really, like, unnecessary. Even this, I'd probably just get Shaman to drop wards or something. So yeah, like, your positioning in this fight's pretty good. I don't know... There's a lot of farming in this game that probably shouldn't be going on from the other two cores. But even then, it's, like, fine, I think. I think your net worth should be as high or higher than Lena's, though. You're spending a bit too much time doing, like, space-making stuff.
I spent a lot of time taking that tier 2, like, 3
Yeah.
different waves to finally kill it.
The nice part about, like, farming the middle part of the map when you're a carry is, like, all these neutral camps are really close. And then it's, like, the same thing if you're farming the top side. Like, all these neutral camps are close. I can't draw on the map, but... let me here. Like, these neutral camps are close to top. You're probably not going to go up the hill. And then these, like, neutral camps are close to mid. Whereas when you're bottom, you have, like, this. And it's, like, still a decent amount, but... The neutral camps are just, like, not very safe in general. They're on the low ground. And the lane, like, is just near a bunch of trees and shit. It's, like, really unsafe, too. I mean, this game's still going good.
Yeah, it's like, at some point, like maybe the next time we push this mid tier 2, yeah,
Okay.
I just get murdered. And then after this happens, it feels like this exact fight happens the rest of the game until we lose. And sure, it's just bad positioning. Like I shouldn't be the one hitting the tower, I guess.
Well, you're queuing yourself in the middle of a creep wave with Axe just respawning. So you just have to watch the respawn timers. Do you think you're even able to kill this tower, like, in a reasonable amount of time, even if they don't come and defend it? Like, it just takes forever. You don't have, like, Serpent Wards are coming up. Maybe you could just use those. But if the fight starts on you, you're just gonna die. They have Axe and Spitfire and Pango. They do a lot of burst damage.
Yeah.
You're not even taking damage from the Blade Mail. You're just stunned. He doesn't have Blade Mail yet, actually, but this is just unnecessary. It's good to hit the tower for a bit, but when they respawn, you gotta run away. Like, that was almost like 4,000 XP, I think. That's like the main thing, is like, the gold dips down by like 2,000 or so, and the XP always dips down like twice as much, which is a way bigger deal earlier on. It gets people closer to level 2 ult, their level 2 talent.
Like, honestly, I just, like, wasn't watching my mini-map at that point, because we just, like, won the fight mid, and then, like you said, they were spawning, and I just, like, expected my Budge and Lino to be behind me, but they both left to go find creeps elsewhere.
I mean, they probably had the right... This is, like, suicidal, too. You just saw Axe briefly. Even if you get swapped, I feel like you're gonna die if they just press all their spells on you. That creep wave's not worth as much as just, like, going to the jungle really quickly or something. Or going bottom and farming that lane out, and then coming back to your team. You should really prioritize scaling, especially on carries. I feel like the last game and this game, you're not trying to scale as much as you should be. This 8k advantage could be 20k by now if you went Mjolnir and you farmed a lot more between the kills. You shouldn't only be getting, like, these really pop-off-y games when you're just like 20-0. There should also just be some from farming. Especially when your hero counters, like, the Pango and the Slark, like, naturally. The later the game goes, like, the counter is still going to be true. He has to build a Lincoln's, like, the item sucks. You're going to always be, like, 1 or 2 items up on him just from the matchup. Ooh, if he called you guys, that would have been a disaster. And then, let's see what else there is this game.
Yeah. Sure, at some point, I'm just, like, super out of position again and get called.
It's like I said...
After a couple of those happens, then the game's just, like, feels over.
It's like I said earlier, I felt like with your start, you could have Mjolnir and BKB at, like, 20 to 25 minutes. You went S and Y in Maelstrom by like 20 to 25 minutes. Now you don't have your BKB when your team's trying to end or they're going for the really big objectives. Like last game, I said that like at about this time, if you really wanted to start winning the game, all the outer towers should probably be dead. The Void Spirit game. This game you have that. They can't really leave their base. You have 2 outposts. You shouldn't be going high ground before BKB on like any carry almost, unless they're all dead. One dead, maybe you just go Roche. You make them fight you at Roche. This is just, it's like suicidal.
So you would have gone Mjolnir BKB?
Yeah, this game. And then Basher, like Abyssal Blade's really OP. The games where you have like normal farm or you're like kind of shut down, you would just go Maelstrom BKB. And then you'd have that at this time. Like you have like normal item timings in a game where you had free farm and 8 kills. Like, you should never have only 127 last hits on any carry with this type of a start. Even if you're like unless you have 30 kills and they just won't stop feeding you, your CS should be at least 10 a minute, even in games where you have a bunch of kills and you're pressuring the map. Because you can just farm their neutrals and shit. You don't need to be hitting all these towers.
Okay.
Like, it's important not to over-farm, and at least farm aggressively, but farming's still important.
Yeah, I think that's, like a result of...
You guys are so grouped up for Axe. No, even last patch is the same.
No, but, like, my mentality,
okay.
like, I don't know, like, where the creep camps are, like, as intuitively. So, like, I haven't figured out, like, where, like, comfortable farming patterns are and stuff. And, like, the game times are just, like, super early. Yeah. So I just, like, haven't prioritized farming as much as I should.
I feel like I could put like a Pornhub logo up on here about like what Axe is about to fucking do. Like, there's no way Lina is just sitting on the high ground with like she's a 700 range hero. You have no business hitting the tower. The wards and the Pudge can hit it. Like, none of this should be happening. And he only calls you.
I told you this game's a disaster.
Even with like. That guy just had like a T-Rex arm call, and I feel like this fight's still gonna go really bad for your team. I don't know. Are you guys gonna win this fight? Jesus. Oh, there's the big call. That's the one he couldn't do under the tower. I'll wait for the graphs to update a bit, but at least you got out of there. But if you had BKB, I mean, maybe you could have like killed them while they were casting their spells like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I did have a lot of move speed.
Okay, the fight should have updated by now. I mean, like, these dips on the XP graph, you can think of it like you're still like super ahead on XP, but when it dips like this, that means they're like getting a lot of XP and then you're getting a lot of XP, and then like it's just trading XP, and eventually the levels are like a lot of XP, so it's not going to be as big of a lead later on. Like a 10k XP lead is like ginormous at 20 minutes, but it's not that much at like 35 minutes. Right. It's like 1 or 2 levels on a certain hero. So that's why trading kills like this is really bad. Like even this, just go hit some creeps, man. You're all alone, away from home. No BKB. And this is where like games will just bleed away, because now that you're dead, your team has to wait a whole minute to do anything. And from my experience, they don't wait, they just run in and feed too.
Yeah, I'm sure it probably takes like another couple fights like that, and then Slark just feels unstoppable.
Yeah.
Hey, at least I realized I needed a BKB.
Yeah, I mean, Slark's at 7k net worth, but he doesn't really...
Dude, that's actually kind of sad, because he just becomes unstoppable in like 20 minutes.
I mean, just, this is what I was talking about the XP thing. He's level 15, but you have like twice his net worth almost. Like you did for a second. Like,
yeah.
It does that, like, that's the thing that's like really bad for you. It's like, the XP's worth items, basically. At least these fights are going well. Like, the game's still pretty good. I would not queue yourself when you're hitting these buildings either. Just like making yourself take like 22% more damage, it's never worth it. Unless you're healing up beforehand.
Didn't really think about that so much, like all of these spells.
You could maybe cast it on Lina, because she's not going to get gone on. because she's ranged, and it would also make her abilities do more damage, but it's definitely suicidal to put it on yourself. You'd be, like, fine in this fight with BKB. It's always around, like, the 25-minute mark where the game feels really hard if you don't have BKB.
Yeah.
Because spells are just so strong at, like, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. And the game can swing really fast.
Yeah, like you said, I just, like, didn't have the items, like, when we were trying to end the game, and I didn't really,
I don't think you've
that.
really gained net worth that much in the past, like, 10 minutes either.
No, I've fed, like, 4 times in a row.
At least you guys are roashing now, but even a lot of this stuff just feels forced. You're 300 gold, 400 gold off BKB. Slark's gonna be even with you on net worth soon. Axe has BKB for you, that's not good. Oh no, and a buyback. I have a feeling this is gonna go badly. He did go Lincoln's too. Oh my lord, this axe is a god. If he could spam the sad thing, he would. I think the game's like almost impossible for you guys to win right now. It's like they have to do the same thing you guys did, except for they have BKBs, and it's harder for them to throw now than it was for you guys to throw.
Yeah, this was disappointing.
Yeah.
Anything after this, like, doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. We'll see.
But I mean, like, the game, like, should have been over.
Yeah.
Like, play if I would have gone a better item build and farmed.
I mean, I think if I was Bloodseeker, I'd have Mjolnir, BKB, and Abyssal Blade by now, and I'd just walk up to anybody on the map and kill them with the Abyssal Blade jump. You just silence Abyssal Blade, and they can't TP away even anymore, even if you rupture them. Pango's a fucking beast right now, too. Let me check the CS scores, too. Like, so, this is actually something good to point out. Like, Pango is very similar to kind of like the Void Spirit type thing, where, like, you can get a lot of CS and still be active. Like, he's winning them all the fights, he's always in the fights, but look at his CS, right? And that's why he's scaled so much better than everyone else in this game. Like, I don't know what this guy's MMR is, but he like, seems to be playing really well just from the numbers point of view.
Yeah.
You should always be using your downtime effectively to, like, farm or push out waves, probably in his case. And it's like the same thing on Void Spirit. There's a lot of running around. Like, once you have your items, you want to fight, and I understand that, but these extra 130 creeps he has on you, even 50 on Lena, that's like a whole item or two, like. Obviously, it feels more natural to farm when you're, like, losing, because you're trying to split push and stuff, but
Yeah, I think I just need to, like, watch, like, the timers, like, more close and, like,
yeah.
prioritize, like, focusing, like, every 5 minutes and, like, farming in between. Like you said, like, fight around the objectives, but definitely hit creeps in between.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, like, know when the fights are going to happen and, like, when we're going to be able to make fights rather than just running
I mean,
around.
just, like, look how fast your hero is right now. You're the one hero on your team. Like, sure, you could count Rupture as initiation, but everyone else is stunned. So you can just let them fight, and then you can TP in and run over. Right? You don't have to be there when the fight starts. You should just farm. I mean, this is a nice little comeback. They threw a bit. You guys got 2 Raxes. It's good you got the BKB off on the Axe. I think this game is honestly still winnable. The Dota Plus shit is broken, but it's definitely not as hard as it might look. You guys have a lot of disables, so even if they get super farmed on Slark, he can die full to 0. They don't have any save. They could still feed alone, like you guys were doing. I mean, you almost have the Mega Creep now. Not sure what item you'll go next, but you gained like 8,000 net worth or something in the past 10 minutes, which is much better than it was before. So like, right there, it's like, that's a perfect way you can try to approach fights where like, you're casting your W and then they try to go on you. You can't against, like, if they have a storm, he might catch you or something, but in this kind of game, if they try to like dive into you like that, like, you can kind of bait a fight. That's about all you can really try to start a fight on Bloodseeker. Unless you do the whole Rupture swap type thing, or Rupture. I know Rupturing Slark feels really nice, but at this point, I think Rupturing the Pango, I mean, he's got Lincolns as well, or even the Axe. Like, the Axe is their whole team fight, it feels like. He's like all their stuns, aside from the Pango. I don't even know if Rupturing Slark will even do that much. And it's hard because he has Lincolns.
I really can't rupture the Pango though when he rolls because I can't
Yeah.
break his Lincoln.
I guess the Slark did die. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I guess the game's over now. It was close, eventually. Oh, maybe it's not over. What's happening here? That looks pretty bad.
Oh yeah, I think I get hooked like 2 more times in this fight. I just keep trying to run up to cast W, and the guy hooks me like 3 times in a row.
If this was like a team game or something, I'd talk about how like you have the tier 2 up bottom, you guys just sit in the base and wait for your teammates to respawn. Maybe try to hook them into the fountain, like make them dive to the fountain, and sit, or the tier 4s at least. Fighting outside here is not very useful.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I had that idea in mind, because I was just like throwing W and running back.
But yeah, you're Bloodseeker without Mjolnir and without Bastard. You don't even do any right-click damage right now. So like getting the Satanic won't help much.
Absolutely nothing.
This Pango's a machine. Alright, I think that's about it for this game.
Yeah.
Alright. Do you have any like questions or stuff?
I guess just like
This is a lot of
if you
information.
could like go back to like the beginning of the mid game really fast and like show me like
Okay.
what types of farming patterns you would have done, because like saying like I should be hitting
Yeah.
creeps is like one thing, but like knowing like where I could be or like should do it is, I guess, would help.
It's this one, right? I'll skip to like 15 minutes or so.
Probably like 10 minutes or 12 minutes was I think when you said it.
I think 15. I didn't really have a problem until like 15 minutes, but I can pause here real quick. Because this is where you pressure the tower, I think.
You also just like go through like 4 times speed or something. Just like give me like an idea.
Yeah. This was this crazy shit right here that you had no business doing.
Yeah.
So you could even buy your own awards now. You play it slowly so I can draw on the map. Should farm somewhere around here. Like if they're showing on the map, you can farm more aggressively up here, maybe even with a ward. But these camps should all be yours, and this lane should all be yours. And Lena should be doing this crazy shit if she wants to be doing that. Okay. Or alternatively, if Lena doesn't want to be doing crazy shit, she could farm up there, which is also nice. And then you can just farm all of this, including the ancients. And then, especially with these outposts captured, if the fight starts, you can always TP and get there last if it's looking good. Like you'll just be able to thirst in. But you should try to be the last one into the fights, unless like a smoke gank involves your hero or something.
Yeah, I definitely did not have like that thought in my mind when I was playing. Yeah. Like I said, I don't play that hero too much.
And then the biggest reason why the Mjolnir's good, like you might think you get a lot of attack speed from thirst, but it doesn't really. It's not really always up there, and you need to kill the neutral camps fast. So Maelstrom kills it decently quick, and in a game where you're brawling a lot like this, even though a lot of it's forced, you could just go BKB next. So you don't have to go Mjolnir. But whatever this is not good right here.
Yeah, so I should just be like farming the bottom side like of our jungle.
You could farm any of this. Honestly, if you were just farming anything, I wouldn't be upset. And then, like right now, Pango's up here, so this is kind of dangerous. He might take the outpost. Like Lena and Pudge and shit should probably deal with this right now until you have more information. But they're either waiting over here, or they're waiting up here for someone to defend top. And I'll turn the fog on both teams.
Like,
I guess they're just farming, but
being in the top lane like feels really dangerous because like my Pudge and Venger bottom. So like I should just be farming passively on my side of the map.
Farming aggressively on your hero isn't gonna really do much for you right now. Like Lena will solo kill somebody that goes into her general vicinity, top or bottom. You're just gonna rupture them and hope they don't TP away, or like commit to a really hard fight with your supports, and then you could all die if they TP. When you have BKB, then you can like commit to a fight and not feel bad about it.
Okay.
So like.
So I should be farming passively.
Yeah. At least I would. I don't know. If you had more information and people are doing stuff, then you can make your way into more aggressive spots. I like farming the middle area a lot when I play carry, because I feel like I'm closer to all the action almost always. Like, if your team was doing this with Lena or Pudge, and then they show bottom, you can push mid out and then make your way into their jungle and then farm your way to top. Or if the fight's looking good, you can run through this ancient area with Thirst. Like, it just feels really nice to be in the middle part of the map, especially with this tower dead. Or if the tower was alive and a fight happens, you could at least pressure the mid tower really fast while you're still farming passively. Whereas, like, if you're top, I think even if a fight starts, I probably wouldn't even hit this tier 2 tower. I'm not going to, like, put enough pressure on it, and they might TP on me or something anyway. It feels safer to be in the mid area.
Yeah, and like the Void Sphere game, I should farm aggressively because I'm like taking away parts of the map from the enemy.
When you're playing mid, a lot of mids like Ember Spirit or Void Spirit have escapes and shit, or like really high burst potential. Like Lena doesn't have an escape, but she can like one-shot somebody with her combo, or she can run away really fast with her movement speed. So when they're playing these like more aggressive parts of the map, they can at least get away and drag a lot of heroes. Like the Venomancer last game, I feel like if he just spammed a lot of wards and sat in the trees, he could probably do that. He would still get smoke ganked. But if he's like a Void Spirit or some shit, if you guys smoke gank him, he might just get away. Like, it makes that play so much harder. And then their waves constantly in front of their tower the whole game. So, like, when you're playing these high mobility heroes, it becomes a lot easier to play the aggressive spots. Or even, like a Wraith King with ultimate. Like, if you have your Radiance ready and you have ultimate, you could just, like, start hitting this tower or something, and then when they come, you can spawn skeletons or run back to your team. There should just be a reason for, like, you being in the front or, like, doing something aggressive, where as, like, a level 12 Bloodseeker with no BKB, I don't think you want to fight, like, 5v5, right? And this just starts a 5v5 fight when there's a tower involved. If you, like, smoke gank and kill somebody and then farm their neutrals or something, like, maybe that's okay, but without a pick-off, this just seems really unnecessary and greedy. And, like, it's not even greedy in a good way. It's just, like, you're hoping they don't defend, so you get a tower. It's not even going to progress your game that much.
Yeah, without our Pudge and Lena there, it's definitely greedy.
So, like...
I just, like, felt pressured because I, like, felt like we were so far ahead that we should be doing things.
You should never feel pressured when you're ahead to do anything, unless, like, you feel like they're out-farming you for some reason, or they have way better late game and they're still hitting creeps. Like, it's fine to just get more ahead. So, like, this is exactly what I thought would happen. It took a lot longer, even when I was looking at the free cam. I mean, I saw it last game, but... Or I saw it when we were looking at it the last replay, whatever, like, before we reloaded this one. You kill this tower, and as soon as you go on their support Nyx, and he doesn't give a shit if he dies, just look how many heroes get here so fast. Like...
Yeah, they're all there. Just rainbow TPs.
Yeah. This ends up being good, but the problem isn't that, like I think this is a good play, but your hero has no business doing it. It should be Lena or Pudge doing this shit. Like, your hero's not good at doing this. It doesn't want to be doing this. It's just, like, let Lena make these plays and then run away like you did, or let Pudge do it.
Really bad.
Let them make space. You go fucking farm. This is just...
Alright.
This is like making space. This isn't really... And you don't even need space. You're up 10k gold. Like, do you guys really need space to farm? They're not even... They're just hitting neutrals and trying not to die.
Right.
Yeah. But I think that's about it for this session, I think.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, let me know. Probably gonna hit up some pubs now.
Alright, thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the biggest takeaways are, like, the first 3 waves or so in the mid lane, and then just, like, being more efficient farming.
Yeah, I'll definitely... Maybe I'll
I mean, it's more complicated.
Some,
like, it's not just, like, farm better forehead, but, like, you should understand the spots we went over and then be able to recognize them in your own games. And then you could probably even look at your own replays and probably recognize the stuff that I was saying without me being there too. So you should just know what to look for after this session. I'll try and, like I said, I'm trying to post these onto, like, a YouTube or something so people can look at them again too. But I have to figure out the Twitch VOD shit because I didn't set up my recording thing properly.
Yeah, I'll try and get, like, some more mid games.
Yeah.
For, like, I don't know, if I get a coach session, like, next week or, like, the week after or something, and try and better understand, like, the creep aggro that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't really understand, like, when you would want to separate the, like, melee to range creeps.
Yeah, it's complicated, right?
Right.
But it's simple but complicated because doing it's simple, but knowing when to do it's hard.
Yeah.
At the very least, I'll make sure that the 2 coaching sessions